we're going to start with numbers. Okay? That's going to be where we begin. Mathematics began very simply, not just with numbers, but if you have this list just like I do, if you can put an arrow off of here. Mathematics began, like, why were people interested in all of this? In the beginning, with a simple thing. Counting. Counting. That's all it began with. I have young children, and they learn to count very, very early, like 1, 2, 3. They're some of the very first words that we learn. And, you know, in a book, it's like 1 car, 2 cars, 3 cars. My son, who's 2, he loves that kind of thing, right? And so this begins very early, and everyone's interested in counting. It's like, how many of this do I have? How many of this do I need? Very relevant, okay? In fact, counting is so relevant that we have this word, which you might not think relates to it, but it's the word calculate. It's a very mathematical word. Calculate? Where it comes from is from counting stones. People used to have these little rocks that they used to count. If anyone's seen an abacus before, and it's like it's got those little rocks, you can yeah, great, fantastic. You can move left and right to help you count, okay? So calculate is about these counting stones. In fact, there's a word, and we're in too modern a room to show you, but there's a word that all of you know that has the same basis as this word. It's the word chalk. Chalk? Anyone's seen a piece of chalk before, right? And it's basically, yeah, excellent. It's just a kind of rock, really. It's like stone, it's ground up. And it's the same kind of idea, that counting stones are where numbers begin, and then we expand from there. Okay? Now, numbers are strange things, right? If you try and understand, I'm so glad someone said this, and last as well. If you try and understand the patterns there are so many little things that are surprising and unusual there. I'm just going to show you a couple to introduce you to what I mean by mathematical thinking, and then we're going to dive into some work today. Okay? So, I'm going to go with this idea of counting stones, chalk as it were. Okay? I need a little bit more space. You can just write this right underneath here. Okay? I want you to think about, and you might need to do a bit of drawing if you have pencils, color pencils even, that would be really, really nice. I only have a few boring colors, so I'll do the best that I can. If you think about all of the numbers, 1 to 10, just think about them for a second. Okay? Get them in your mind. Okay? Now I want you to imagine that you're working with them as counting stones. Okay? So for instance, I could put in, like, you know, for example, I could put 3 stones, and I can arrange them in a whole bunch of different ways. I could put them like in a heap. You can draw some stones with me, like that. You're sort of randomly seeing there. I could put them in a line. That's sort of nice, but you can't really see much here. There's not much that's interesting, right? One of the words that also comes to mind that's not on here at all is questions. A lot of people think that mathematics is about answers. We will find answers, lots and lots of them. But much more interesting is, can you take a number and can you ask it questions? Can you try and work out, tell me something about yourself? Can I understand you? Okay? So for instance, there was 3, you might like to draw a different number of little counting stones on your page. Here's the first question I want to ask you, right? Can you take any number you like from 1 to 10, we just want to make them small so you won't be drawing forever, any number from 1 to 10, and put them into 2 rows. Can you do that for me? Can you draw a number and put the counting stones into 2 rows, any way you like? Can you do that? Try and draw. Pick a number, anything from 1 to 10, and just draw it out in 3 rows. I'm going to do it with 3. Okay, so here are my 2 rows, right? I don't know if yours looks similar or different to mine. Maybe you've put one of them down here, maybe you've spaced them far apart. Okay. What I noticed is, I've got these 2 that kind of pair up. I'm trying to get them into rows, right? So for instance, I can say, hey look, these are paired up, right? They're sort of buddies with each other. But then you got this guy, he's kind of a bit sad and lonely. He's got no one hanging out with him, right? Keep that thought in your head. Draw another number, okay? How many of you drew an odd number? Yeah, how much? Can someone give me a different number that they drew? Yeah.
6.
6, okay, oh, Odd number, that's okay. Who did do an odd number? I'll get to 6 in a minute. Yeah, what did you do? 7. Okay, I'm going to do 7. Maybe you, if you didn't do 7, you can draw it with me as well. Put it down here. So again, you can see, I've got my 2 rows, right? And again, just like with 3, if I want them to buddy up, I don't know, you guys get to do drama like 1 lesson a fortnight maybe, you can see these guys buddy up, that's really nice. But then, there's this guy still kind of hanging out here. Now, this is the whole point for why we call these odd numbers, because can you see, and if you did 3 or 5 or 7 or 9, there's always that guy and he's the, what do you call it? When you have
Odd one out?
The odd one out, exactly, right? In fact, I'd love you to write that there with me. One of the things that you will discover is that every single word, every single piece of language that you will learn in mathematics, there's a reason for it. Odd numbers aren't just called odd numbers because they're weird or strange, but because just like here, there's an odd one out. Now, there's another kind of number I haven't named yet. If they're not odd, what do we call them? Yeah,
Even.
we call them even. Now, pause for a minute. You guys have known about even numbers for a long time. Have a think about this. Don't shout it out. Think first. Why do you think they're called even numbers? Have a think. Someone hasn't said something. What do you reckon?
Because they all pair up.
They all pair up. They all match up evenly, right? Like if I say, oh, okay, we'll do it right here. I want to line up things, and I want them to be sort of paired up with each other. And look, they're even. You guys are very even, almost, right? Paired up. We have an odd number today, right? It's one odd one out, but everyone else even. So you see these words, right? They have meanings, and they show us something about how these numbers behave. A bit about their personality. Okay. So now that was all simple. Let's do some operations with these numbers. I want to show you an unusual pattern, and I want you to keep these counting stones in the back of your head. Okay. This next bit, if you've got more than one color, would be really, really useful. Firstly, though, I just want you to write down there. Here's a pattern. 1. What's 1 plus 3? This is the next odd number, right? That's what I was thinking about. 1 plus 3, of course, is 4. Cool. That's good. Okay. If I wanted to extend that pattern, what do you think would be the next line that I'd write? Give you a hint. Starts with a 1. Plus 3. Yeah, go ahead. Ooh, hold on. So I'm trying to build a pattern, right? And see what happens next. Do you want to, Aiden? Do you want to do it?
Plus 4.
Ooh, okay. I am going to add a number because you can see I'm adding lots of things. I'm trying to think about these odd numbers that I'm interested in for a particular reason. Yeah, go ahead.
Plus 5.
I'm going to try plus 5. Now, by the way, I should say I could have added plus 4 or just written 1 plus 3 is 4, and those would all be fine, right? I'm interested in something particular though, and you'll see why in a second. 1 plus 3, I already know what that is. So when you add 5, what do you get? Yeah, go ahead.
8.
Ooh, 1, so I get 8 here, and then 1 more will give me altogether? 9. Very good. Okay, so it was very close. I'm going to do this one more time, add a 4th row on there, and I wonder if you notice anything unusual, okay? So this time my next line is 1, 3, 5, 7. Okay, the numbers are getting a bit bigger, but I think we can still manage them. Because I already know these ones are all going to be 9, and 7 more onto that, and I'm going to get 16. Very good. Okay, I'm going to pause. We saw these odd numbers here. I'll be right with you, Keegan. Just hold on. And we saw, okay, that's why they're called odd. No big deal. That's fine. That's nice. There's something weird's going on here. I'm just combining them. You want to, yeah, Maria, what do you reckon? It's going up by, okay, so each time it's going up by odd numbers. You can see that gap there because I add 1 odd number every time. King, you had your hand up a little while ago. What did you say?
That is plussing 2 every time, and then if you at the when it's 4, if you plus it, all you need to do is add 1 for 9, and if you do that, it's the same as. Oh wait, no, never mind.
No, it's okay. You saw a pattern. You were thinking about double and then add 1. That was interesting. But then it didn't keep going. Now I'm going to pause for a second. Yeah, that it's okay. I'm so glad that lots of you are bursting with ideas. Sometimes, you remember how I talked about spoilers, right? I think some of you see by now, because we've had a bit of time, you see something but not everyone's there yet. So let me try and help you a little bit. 1, 4, 9, and 16. These numbers that I'm ending up with at the end, they're kind of special numbers. They're a bit unusual. I wonder if anyone can see, if I draw a picture like this, and this, can you see what's going on? Yeah.
So, wait, 1's an odd number, 4's an even number, 9's an odd number, and 16's an even number?
So firstly, I can get, this is alternating thing. In fact, I don't even know what the next one is yet. But I know it's going to be an odd number, because this one was even. Right? Okay, one more thing you do.
Square the numbers.
Aha! Now, this is, of all the unusual things that we do, and there's loads. Okay, thanks Andy, you help me. This is the most unusual thing. And I've tried to help you see it. I mean, this is a square. It's 1 by 1, right? And here's another square. It's 2 by 2. Do you see? 2 this way and 2 that way, and that's why I have 1, 2, 3, 4 spots. Do you notice that? I can draw the next one, so can you in fact. Let's draw that square beside it. 1 by 1, and then 2 by 2, and then 3 by 3. Right? I'm getting these squares in here. Now, the last one I think is probably big enough. It's starting to get a bit unmanageable. So I'm going to draw this 4 by 4 square. Now my question to you is, why is it doing that? That's kind of weird. Why is this number, remember I said to you, numbers kind of have a personality, every single one. Why is this number behaving like this? Why are each of these doing that?